My very first guest is public educator Elizabeth Ross. Thank you so much for joining me. Um, one of the first things that I like to do whenever I talk to someone is ask them to introduce themselves. So, how about you introduce yourself to us, Elizabeth or Beffy?
My name is Elizabeth, affectionately known as Bath Beffy, more affectionately known as Miss Ross. um, I am a educator. I've been teaching for the past 8 years. I've been working with kids for probably the past, I don't know, maybe 11, 12 years ish. Yeah, I'm a little girl from the suburbs, Mo City, and I love Beyonce. Like, that's it.
Yes, you love Lord Jesus help you. You love Beyonce. Now, okay, before we get into the education part, now are you gonna be one of them teachers that is doing the mute challenge with your students? Now, okay, first of all, you teach what grade?
I teach 11th grade U.S. history. So I
Okay, so that
definitely do.
means you
They know what's
did
up.
you did the mute challenge with your 11th graders?
Not yet, but I did. I've been scouting my classes because, I don't really know these kids that well yet. So it's only
Okay.
been 8 days. So I've been scouting the classes. I'm trying to see who has the most, not to be so tongue in cheek, but energy. And
Mhm.
I'm trying to see, who has the right energy for it. And so I was
Mhm.
talking to one of my periods, and I was like, "Y'all, would y'all do a TikTok with me?" And they said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, let's do it, let's do it." And I was like,
Uh-huh.
"Okay,
Uh-huh.
well, this is what I want to do." I told y'all I love Beyonce, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't know what you're talking about," but I said, "Okay, we'll think about it. We'll talk about it next week. We'll talk
Okay.
about it next
Okay.
week."
Mhm.
But yeah,
So
so
let
that's
me
definitely on my to do list.
ask you this. Do you find that being a younger teacher tapped into social media like you are
Hmm.
makes it easier for you, especially teaching 11th graders? Do
Oh
you
yeah,
feel that makes it easier, right? Being tapped in
absolutely.
with TikTok and you're like, oh, TikTok. But at the same time, you do have to tell them, now y'all shut y'all asses up.
No, I absolutely believe that it makes it so much easier to relate to the kids because I think now my age has gotten I got more of an age gap between my students than when I first started teaching. So they
Very
do
true.
have like more of a level of respect because they know that I'm not their age. Because I
Mhm.
mean, when I first started teaching, I did have some kids that were like 2 to 3 years younger than me. I'm not putting their business out there, but they they there was some kids that were in their 20s too, their early 20s as well. So but now I can definitely say like, oh, there's like at least 16 years between us. So they don't think that
Right.
they
Okay.
think I'm old. Like they think I'm old.
They
So
think you old now.
they think
Okay.
I'm old. So, but I still am obviously very youthful and I am tapped in. So, like, when they're saying little things, like,
Mm-hmm.
they don't know that I'm going to catch on all the time. Like one girl
Exactly.
last year, she said something and she was like BFFR. I said no, you BFFR, and she was
You
like,
be for real,
she
okay?
said, you know what that means? I said sure do. Hmm. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
being for real, so
Yes. Yes.
so it makes for like funny moments for sure. But also,
Yeah.
I
It
can
makes
talk to
funny
them and
moments. Yeah.
relate to them, or I can even sometimes relate a TikTok to something that we're talking about in class, like, oh, y'all know that trend, or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, I try to use whatever I can to make the content relatable since we're starting like hundreds of years ago. But if I can find a way to make it relatable to something that they've seen recently, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna do it. So it helps definitely with the rapport and the content.
Okay, now that's very interesting using TikTok content for historical purposes. I really want an example. Like, if you can remember, I ain't trying to put you on the spot, but please,
Right.
if you can remember.
So maybe not I don't know if I can think of a TikTok reference, but I can talk about a pop culture reference for sure.
Okay. Okay.
Just last week we were talking, well, like I said, I teach US history. We started in the 1800s, westward expansion, America moving west, taking over everybody's land. They get to California, everybody doesn't get a chance to get gold. So I also know I have a lot of gamers in my class and things of that nature. Lots of kids that like anime. So I was like, "Have y'all ever played Pokemon Go?" And they were like, "Yeah, yeah, I played that." And I told them about a real life experience I had when I was playing Pokemon Go.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, we were all at the park, and somebody yelled out, "Hey, there's a Dragonite over here!" And so everybody starts to go run to go try to get their rare Pokemon. And I said, "So when everybody's running over to that Pokemon, does everybody get to catch the Pokemon?" And they were like, "Nah, you don't, like, everybody doesn't get it." And I said, "Exactly." And everybody didn't get the gold either when everybody ran to it. So I just try to use like moments like that to
Okay.
try to, like, maybe at some point they'll figure out, like, on their test, like, "Oh yeah, I remember when she was talking about Pokemon Go. They did not,
Mm-hmm.
you know, everybody wasn't successful." So,
Mm-hmm.
just moments like that, or I try to make little
Mm-hmm.
songs, try to flip songs, and
You
make
try
it.
to do everything.
I
You try to
do.
do
Be a good for
everything.
my life.
Girl. Oh my God. You try to do everything because, oh God, I really do feel it breaks my heart, honestly, just being in my 40s, seeing where the education system is now compared
Yeah.
to what it was. Like, I think I was looking statistically, I was looking at a TikTok. I don't know if you saw this.
Hmm.
This black man, I don't know if he was in his late 20s or what, but he was reading Charlotte's Web.
Hmm.
Have you seen it? He was crying. He was teaching himself how to read.
Oh.
And girl, I wish I would have just pulled up the video because I totally could have just pulled it up
Hmm.
for this conversation. But girl, he was so emotional. He was like, "You got this." He was like, "Come on, baby, you got this. You can do this." He was just like the struggle
Yeah.
and the study where a lot of our black youth are not reading past, what is it, fifth grade level, sixth
Mm.
grade level, something like that.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking to see that young man go through that. So even though you're teaching US history, you gotta read.
Ex-
You have to write. Do you experience at that level, 11th grade, do you experience students that are still struggling to read?
um. Absolutely. And I think that a lot of it is attributed to the kids don't have to read for a lot of stuff. I think
Mm.
that, not to brag on my generation, but I really feel like my generation of, like, people and learners, we were at a very unique crossroads between technology and
Mm-hmm.
books. So we know how to use a book. I know what an
Mm-hmm.
index is. I know what a glossary is. I know how to find something in an encyclopedia. I didn't,
Mm-hmm.
even though I had a cell phone in high school, I didn't have Siri to say, "Hey, what is this?" And
That's
just
true.
get the thing just popped up for me. I had
Yeah.
to read to find information. And I think that a lot of kids now, they don't have to read to find information. Also, I think a lot of it starts at home as
Yeah.
well. Are you
Yeah.
being read to? Is reading a focus at home? And I know that also, on top of that, that's a tricky subject because a lot of times parents are doing the best that they can, and they're
They
in
are.
situations where they're not able to be at home all the time. And
Mm-hmm.
I like a lot of the kids when I would call home or whatever. I've had parents say, I'm working overnight shifts. So when I come home, I'm expecting that you have done X, Y, and Z, but they're not there to necessarily check that they did X, Y, and Z.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I
Right.
feel like there's just a lot of factors into that. And then also I'm in
Mm-hmm.
another unique space where I do teach um, special education students in my classroom as well. So I have like an inclusion class.
Oh,
So
really?
yes, so
Oh my goodness, you're tackling both, girl.
yeah, so I see things from like a couple of different perspectives. Obviously, from the um, I don't really want to use the word disability, but for lack of better words, I see it from that standpoint, and I see it from just like investment also into literacy
Yes.
and the lack
Yes.
thereof. Because a lot of these kids are very smart, like if you have conversations with them, but
Mm-hmm.
there's just those skills that necessarily weren't on the forefront for them to need, like that they needed.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond just like, I don't know, reading on the worksheet they don't even, these kids don't even read the instructions. They ask me questions. I said, "Did you read the directions?" And they say no. I said,
Right.
"We start there."
It's sort of like how on social media when somebody posts something they go, I ain't reading all that.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
go, I ain't reading all that. And you be like, but you wanted to know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they be like, well, what happened? Well, what happened? And then they'll post, well, what happened? Then they be like, oh, I ain't reading all that.
Right. Or, posting stuff and that's not even what the text really said. They read one line and that became
Ah, okay.
and I think also something is that we don't necessarily talk about is, and it kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier,
Mm-hmm.
literacy. How much do kids even read anyways? And I'm pretty sure they probably looked at some of the numbers. How many books are getting checked out anyways? How many things are being offered online to where,
Didn't consider that one.
right? So whereas somebody just told me recently, and I don't even remember who this was, but that they, I don't know if it was their, I don't know if I was talking to a parent or a teacher where they had like the book fair and the kids were not excited. Like they had no idea what
Girl,
a
we
book
used to love the book fair, girl.
the book fair was like going to the club,
The
okay?
Scholastic
The
book fair,
scholastic
girl.
book fair. You see them things getting rolled into your library, you know it's about to go down.
Listen.
And I
That
know
little
kids
booklet,
don't want it.
that little paper booklet you used to get,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
the little yarn book, girl, listen, the yarn bookmark that
Yep.
you used to, baby, I couldn't wait for that Scholastic book fair. Girl, nah,
Couldn't wait for it.
them kids hate that shit now.
But also keep in mind, these are also kids that are coming out of COVID, elementary school kids, where
Very true.
this is not something that they're used to. They didn't see like the other kids going to it
Very
or
true.
anything like that. And what did we have to do? Where was all of our life during COVID? Online.
That's so true.
You read the
Mm-hmm.
books online. Like I'm sure so many people got introduced to Libby, like the
Yeah.
online library app or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if I could just have all this stuff on my phone, what do I need to go get a physical book for?
That is so true. That
Or
is so true.
so I don't know if that's also a factor in it. A lot of districts also have lots of those same library database resources online where the kids don't even have to go to the library to necessarily, utilize it. It's embedded into whatever um, system the district has where they could do it in
Mm-hmm.
the comfort of their homes if they
Mm-hmm.
want. So maybe these things are, I don't know. I don't want to think too negatively about it. I want to hope that they have, some kind of right interest for the students and
Yeah,
and
I
maybe then
know.
repurpose and, redistribute. I don't know, child.
I know it's hard. I know that it's hard for you. Um, I do want to tackle this one.
Okay.
As a woman, as a black woman,
Hmm.
being in the education system, have you had any, I mean, it's 8 years, like you said, 8 years, 11 years. Have you had any experiences, um, adversity being a Black woman in this field?
Um, I think that I can honestly say that I have been blessed
Mm-hmm.
to not have any interactions or any situations where I felt like me being a woman or me being Black has, been a hindrance or, been the cause of some type of problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think that one, there's a lot of people that look like me that work where I work. So
Yes.
I'm not like in a situation where I'm like the only Black girl on my team, or I'm not the only Black girl in my department or at my school, or there's only like five of us. That's not necessarily
Mm-hmm.
the case. I work in a very diverse district. I work with
Mm-hmm.
a very diverse staff. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that lends itself to that experience being more pleasant than not, for myself.
Mm-hmm. I
So
think that's important, right?
it is. And I wouldn't put, I know that some things are unavoidable,
Yeah,
but I'm always gonna try to put myself in the best situation. So I, truth be told, wouldn't apply in a district where I felt like I would be in a situation like that. If that makes any sense.
that does make sense.
I
It
had
does make sense.
the I had the blessing to,
You,
know, apply where I want to apply. Like, this is a big metropolitan area. There are plenty of school districts, and there are certain areas of town that have their own like reputations and history, like the outliers, I would say, outlying
mm-hmm.
areas. I'm not applying there. What do the
Mm-hmm.
kids look like? Because at the end of the day, I want to service kids that look like me. I want to service kids that, you know, I could relate to. And, I can,
Mm-hmm.
because when you can relate to the kids, that's already the building block of, or the foundation for building a relationship with them.
I
They
love that.
feel safe with you.
I
So
love that. Mm-hmm.
so I know I kind of like segued off,
No,
but
but I love that though. What you just said right there. The kids feel safe with you. That's a
and
lot
my
of
other
times what it's
coworkers that
about.
look like us, yeah.
Mm.
So I think I can honestly say like there is somebody on campus that a student can relate to, whether wherever you come from. There is somebody there, whether
Mm-hmm.
you're Muslim, you're Christian, you're Black, you're white, you're Asian, you're
Mm-hmm.
Hispanic, Middle
I
Eastern. There
love
is
that.
somebody that you can relate to on our campus, and
I
I
love
love
that.
that. I was very intentional about where I wanted to work.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I know my friend, she's an educator too, and she wanted to go off, Teachers of America.
Hmm.
Yeah, and she did that program. And, a lot of times the teachers go and work in certain districts that are very impoverished and it's harsh. And man, she was working in Watts,
Hmm.
and that has been very difficult for her.
Right.
Some of the stories out of there, but it was like she really wanted to help. So just to hear, like you said, that look like you and you want to make them feel safe. And
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why you go to those districts is because you're like, okay, these kids look like me. I feel like I can be sort of like that safe haven for them.
Hmm.
But at the same time, it also depends on the district and if they believe in the safety of
Right.
the kids and making sure that they have the supplies that the teachers need, the support. that the teachers need. That's huge too. Would you agree that the support and the supplies and everything else that the teachers, a lot of teachers are spending so much of their salary
Right.
buying supplies for the students. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, I would definitely agree that those are two things that are definitely integral into that student safety and student success. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think that school districts, and this is like in no shade to them or, whatever, but they provide the bare minimum. Like
Mm.
this is, you got this, you got this, you got that, or whatever. And I don't, and I when I say the bare minimum, I don't mean for that to come off negatively. Like, but
Mm-hmm.
here you go. These are the necessities that you need for a classroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
when you are an educator, this is your passion. You always know that there's something else that can help enhance the learning,
Mm-hmm.
or something that could um make kids feel good in the classroom, or
Mm-hmm.
all these other little things that the school district is not going to account for. And I think
Right.
that's where and I think also it's like in a perfect world, this should last you. Like you should be good with this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You should
In the
ration.
real world, I done gave Johnny a pencil every day this week because he keep losing my
Right.
pencil. So yeah, no, I need more pencils because Johnny
Right.
been losing these pencils and leaving them in
Mm-hmm.
other people's classes. And I'll be like, you know what, Johnny, why you keep leaving in her class? Like, why not my class? Just leave the
Right,
pencil
right,
here.
right. Please. Thank
It'll
you.
be here tomorrow. But
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of like what usually happens because there's budgets. There's like you can always order, you can always ask. Well, at least in my situation, I know that a budget's gonna open up. My department is going to order whatever the teachers say that they need. But then you also kind of have to wait for that. That has nothing to do with us, with the campus or anything like that. They don't control
Mm-hmm.
any of that. And I don't even know if the districts necessarily control that, if that's like a state thing. I don't
That
get that deep,
state.
okay? I don't get that
Mm-hmm.
deep. I just,
I
when I
I
get the
know.
email, what you
I know.
need, you need
Mm-mm.
notebooks. Yes, I do. Like that's what I wait for.
Not
Um,
Not Abbott Elementary. Yes, I do. I need
and
this. I need that. Period.
and this is
Mm-hmm.
it. But yeah, so I think that that's kind of like where it lies. Like we see beyond the bare necessities. We see beyond
Okay.
like, you know,
Yeah.
just the things that the starter pack. Like, no, we need the
Yeah.
expansion packs. Like we know
Right.
we need things to sustain us with all the incidentals. And then the things
Yeah.
that are just gonna make learning a little bit more fun or make your classroom more
Mm-hmm.
inviting or
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
I love that because I think I can't remember where you posted, but like your girls in the classroom, you have the necessities for the
Mm-hmm.
girls. Okay.
Absolutely.
I love that. I was like, yes, yes, yes. Because maybe you never know. The girl at least need her things.
The girlies
Okay.
need their things. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and honestly, I did that because a lot of students, one, like if it's for my girls and it's that time of the month or whatever, it's gonna take so much time out of class for you to go down to the nurse and get one of them paper thin napkins, something that's
You
just,
right.
bottom of the barrel. At least you can come to me, you can get you some always.
Hello.
You can go
Or
right to
stay
the
free
restroom.
or something, child.
Yes, you can
Yes.
go right to the restroom that's right outside my room and then come right back. And
I love
that's
that.
that's keeping you in class more than not. You gonna I'm
Yes.
gonna go right to pass. You got to go all the way down there, come
Mm-hmm.
wait, come back. You miss 15, 20 minutes worth of class. All because
Exactly.
it's something that you need. So why don't I
Mm-hmm.
give it to you? You know?
I
And
love that.
yeah, so things like that. I got little lotions for them in there because they be ashy. I mean,
Girl,
they
okay.
always asking me for lotion here. Now you got lotion for a while. Like
Let's see.
little ones,
But
whatever.
it's stuff like that though, honestly, Beffy, that you don't know what's going on in somebody's
No,
house.
you don't. You
You
don't.
really don't. Like, I don't care what district, where you live. You don't know what's going on in somebody's house, and you done made somebody day. I'll never forget that black teacher, and it was picture day, and that little boy, I think it was the Vaseline or the lotion or
Mhm.
something. You remember? And it was picture
Yep.
day.
Mhm.
Like, girl, listen, they asked you that lotion, girl. Hey, you made them feel good. Listen, baby girl
Absolutely.
needed a pad. You
Mhm.
made her feel secure, safe. She wasn't messed up. Her clothes, like it,
Mhm.
girl. I
Yeah.
need you to understand, like you are doing so like beautifully. So for me, just because I know this and it's Sunday, okay, you need to plan and you need to get ready for your day. So I don't want to hold you too long, but I guess for me, what as a professional and public educator do you feel you need? Because right now you only been in school for 8 days, like you said. What do you think us as a community can do for you right now, today, and moving forward to help have a successful school year? If you could do a call to action, once I put this recording out, what is your call to action for the audience?
I think that the one thing I would ask of the public is to be the village, right? Reinforce the things, the structure, the just like the little things that we do in school. Um, because at the end of the day, school is a model, right? School is a model for what you are expected to be in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
You're expected to follow routines. You're expected to be respectful to people, be on time, meet deadlines. And that's what I tell the kids. Like, this is like your pre-work before you get to the real world, right? You are
Mm-hmm.
expected to do X, Y, and Z. That's what's going to be expected of you in a greater magnitude when you get out on your own.
Mm-hmm.
My thing would be like I really feel like we need to get back to that essence of like everybody has their hand in helping a child succeed. Whether you are the lady in the neighborhood or whatever, just spending those moments to like,
Yes.
and it doesn't have to be 5 minutes. It could just be those little moments of
Mm-hmm.
encouragement, little moments of reinforcement, that could really just be those things that kind of stick with a child,
Mm-hmm.
and so not that so that is not when I'm in school, they expect this of me, but the community also expects this from me. I'm
Yeah.
expected of this at home. I'm expected of this when I go to my grandma's house or whatever. Like
Yeah.
those are the things that I think really help the kids out.
Yeah.
Knowing that everybody is rooting for them, is caring about them
Yeah.
to succeed. And
Yeah.
you got to do it like you can give us all the books, you can give us all the paper, all the pencils or whatever, but if these kids don't feel like you believe in them, if these
Mm-hmm.
kids don't feel like they need to somewhat make you proud, because that's always a motivator when like, hey, I gotta make sure I want to make this person proud.
Mm-hmm.
But if they don't know that we want to see that from them because we're so always so busy into our day-to-day lives,
That's
then
true.
who are they trying to make proud? Like, who are they
That's true.
with, like where is the reinforcement happening? Because everybody doesn't have those, homes where, they're being told these things at home. We
Yeah.
gotta do it as a community. And we need y'all help. That's what I say. We would need y'all help to do that.
Exactly. Because that's the thing, because the community, the home life looks very different.
Mm,
Like, and but the issue too comes in we do so much judging. We do a lot of judging.
Absolutely.
We do so much judging that we like if a kid looks a certain way, if they do a certain thing, if they come from a certain place, we not gonna judge, we're not gonna help them, we're gonna judge them instead. Next thing you know, this kid, you know, is on the outs, they bullied. Next thing you know, this lady over here, and you like, God, I just really wish that we did less judging,
Mm-hmm.
because if we did that, I really feel like we would do more community work. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
gosh. There
And
used to be a time, you know what? I think too, back in the day, we we used to mind our business more. So nobody really knew what was going on in each household.
mhm.
Let's keep it a buck. Because baby, the LGBTQ community always have been around, baby.
Mhm.
You just didn't know. So
Yeah.
you didn't have the opportunity to bully them and say that you didn't want to support them. You didn't even know you were supporting somebody who was a lesbian. You didn't know that you was giving a word of encouragement to somebody who was trans. You didn't know.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not
Right.
saying there wasn't issues back in the day, but what I'm saying is now we have social media. Now we have this. Now we have this. So now it's just extra crazy. But I'm
Mhm.
saying back in the day, there was a lot more community. Like you're saying, there was Miss Ann next door who was like, baby, you sure look beautiful today. Look at your curls and look at your hair. I want you to have a good day today, okay? You
Yeah.
know, and you never know. That little girl may have been having a little thing at the school with a
Yeah.
little girl. Like you just did, but nobody
Right.
knew. She was just being a beautiful little community next door lady.
Yeah. And I think within that same breath, it's all about also watching what you say to these kids, because the things that
Oh.
you say, they internalize it. And because I've had kids come up to me, and I'm trying to talk to them out of whatever
Mm-hmm.
they're doing. And I'm like, man, Miss Ross, I'm bad, so it don't matter. Like, so somebody told them that they're bad.
Oh.
And now this is a label that's been put on this child by somebody in their life. And now they feel like, well, shit, this is who I am. So this is who you told me I am. So this is
Wait.
who I
So
am.
the kid actually said like, Miss Ross, I'm bad.
Yeah. Because this is probably something he's been told all his
He's
life.
all his life, I'm bad.
When
So
whatever actions he's been putting out and doing have nothing to do with who he is at his core, but what other people have probably done to him, or whatever situations he's been put in.
wow.
So I would say, watch what you say
Mm-hmm.
to the children, because they internalize it, they believe it. You don't understand maybe as an adult how much your words weigh, because who else are kids looking up to besides adults and the people around them? And
Very
so
true.
growing up, if it's your aunt, your cousin, your older cousin, your mama, your grandma, like your uncle, your daddy, like I'm told to believe that, what they say is true.
Right.
So
Exactly.
so whatever they're saying, it gotta be true, right? So I think that once that has like happened for a child more than once, they get into a space where like, well, damn, this is who I am, so this is who I'm gonna be. And just having more of that positive talk with kids in general, like you say, like that nice little affirmation of, wow, you look really nice today, I hope you have a good day. That
Mm-hmm.
could do a whole lot for somebody. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and so at the end of all of that, I'm not asking people to have long, drawn out conversations about life with kids, but just to be a positive interaction. Hell, be a positive interaction for anybody at any point in time in the day, because you don't know what anybody needs.
Mm-hmm.
Those
That part.
interactions, they come at the most random moments, but it be the thing that you needed that day. Like, I
Yes.
needed somebody to just, put their hand on my shoulder, be like, hey girl, like you didn't even know I
Yes.
need a little
I
touch.
needed that. Yes, girl.
So
Exactly.
I just think that if we just are kinder to people, we are more
Yes.
intentional about how we interact with people, that
Mm-hmm.
would just do so much more for the world. And also keeping that same mindset for how we talk to these kids
I
and
agree.
kids that we have in our path.
I
Um,
agree.
because they're
I
gonna
agree
believe
100%.
they're gonna believe
I
it.
agree 100%. Okay, girl. Well, I guess we can wrap it up. Tell everybody where they can find you on socials, ma'am.
Okay, so you can follow me on Instagram at Miss Beffy, Miss.Beffy. I'm also on Twitter, but it's MISSBEFFY. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, TikTok. I don't even know what my TikTok is, to be quite honest. I think it's the same thing, MS dot.
Mm-hmm.
So I just be on there. Sometimes I
Okay.
do TikToks with my kids, and a lot of the other times
Yeah.
we live in life. So that's me.
Living life. And also, so last year you did Game of Thrones.
I did.
So this year with the staff, right?
Mhm.
With the staff. So do we already know what we're doing?
We
Is it going to
don't.
be House of Dragons? It's going
We
to be House of
don't.
Dragons. Okay.
We
Okay.
don't know. We had the dragons last year, so we're trying to figure out how we can top ourselves. But we really get hated on at school because we're
Uh,
like the best, like, and we put it's 100% every time. And so last
not
year we didn't
100%.
win. We didn't win. There's always a competition, and
Y'all
we
didn't win that?
girl,
How did you
no,
not win? That photo shoot
we
was everything with
child.
Game of Thrones.
It's been 2 years in a row that we should have won and we did not win. Because last year we did House of Dragons. We had dragons. Okay, I had a whole
It was Drake cards. It was everything.
baby Dracarys. Like, come on, let's.
How did y'all not win?
Girl,
Wow.
they don't like
Okay.
us. We won so many things as a department that I think they just don't want to give it to us. And they say they got some outside. It's a conspiracy. They
It's
don't
a
want us to
oh,
win. They didn't let
okay.
us win the year before. We were the Avengers. Baby, I had painted my body green. I was Gamora, okay? I was green. My face was green. I had the red wig. I'm talking
You
about
know
we had
what?
Thor's hammer. Like, it was. I'm gonna have to send you the picture because we
So
were the state.
so
We
so
were the
this
state.
year, okay, so this year you really got to bring it then, and hopefully, because this
Baby,
it's fixing to be September, sweetie. So y'all
it
got to come up
is.
with something. Y'all
It is,
have to
and
come
we
up with
will.
something.
It is, and
And
we will.
I'm hoping you win. I'm
We,
hoping you win. So on the final note, now that you done gave us that social, so are you going to the Renaissance? You are going to the Renaissance,
it's
correct?
sky blue. Is it hot as hell in Houston?
I knew you were going, girl. I just couldn't remember. Are you going to September 23rd show?
Mm-hmm.
Is
And the
that the only?
24th.
Oh,
She ain't gonna pull the wool over my eyes. If she do something different on one of them nights, I
oh
see.
my
She can't fool me.
God. Okay. Don't be hollering at the people in the crowd if they don't do the mute good.
Well, they
Okay.
just need to be mute. No.
Okay.
Nah, I'm not about to start. Nah, I'm gonna roll my eyes, but I'm not about to get into no physical
Okay.
altercations over this.
Okay. Okay. Well, I can't wait. I need the update. Send me the picture. I need the
For sure.
update on the Halloween. I hope everybody please take into account of your gems that you're giving us. Definitely gonna clip that part and put this up. Actually, that's gonna go up. The episode will be out Tuesday. But that little gym part, that'll probably be up tomorrow, definitely. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you
You are
so
so
much,
welcome.
cuz. Appreciate you for coming.
Of
All
course.
right. All right. Have a good Sunday.
Thank you, girl. You too.
All right. Bye.